Sorry, I was having connection problem. Please forgive me. So there is a special feeling in meeting. Like gopis get a special feeling when they meet Krishna. Only meeting is not very enjoyable for Krishna. A very single ras all the time becomes very boring. So Krishna lies the mood of separation enhances the mood of meeting. It's a very famous formula. We should remember it in the entire Krishna Leela in Vrindavan's pastimes. This formula works very well. Separation enhances meeting of Radha and Krishna, of Krishna with the gopis. It makes it more pleasurable for Krishna. But separation alone is not sufficient. Gurudev would say that all the time Radha Krishna won't be in the mood of separation. Ultimately, they have to meet. They would meet. But that meeting will be less and separation would be more. Parvas and dur parvas. Parvas means what? Krishna, for example, he is with his friends and he is having prasadam, and Radharani is waiting for Krishna at Radhakund. So she is waiting for Krishna and she is feeling separation. But she has some hope. He will come. Krishna will come to meet me. But Krishna, if he goes to Dwarka, then it is helpless. What should when would he come? Dur Parvas. He has gone too far. He's gone too far. So that is why Param Rasik. Gopis are very Rasik. Rasik means what here? Means they enjoy all the rasas, all the moods. They know them very well. Oh, Rasik means gopis who know all the moods. And their personal nature is also very grave. Gopis. They do jokes with Krishna, with Radha Rani. This goes on. But internally, they are very grave in their mood. They can't be taken for lightly, the gopis. So even if they say something to Krishna, the logics which gopis give, they have those logics are very grave. The simple or light logic won't give the gopis. Their logics would have lots of gravity. They would have bhav, moods, prem, love, and gravity. And so that's why Krishna, in front of Gopi's logic, he cannot survive. For example, there's one pastime when you go to Vrindavan from Faridabad, there is a town which comes in between that's called Kosi. Braj Mandal starts from Kosi. Those who go to Vrindavan from Faridabad, Vallabhgarh, Palwal, Vanchari. This is a village called Vanchari. From here, Braj Mandal starts. This is the border. And there, the first place would be Kosi. These names are just by that, without any logic? No. All the villages in Braj Mandal, small towns, small villages, they all are connected with Krishna's pastimes. Kosi, what happened in Kosi? There's some logic behind this name, Kosi. What is that logic? What happened there? Radharani is inside the kunja. The door is closed, and Krishna came from outside. So Krishna is calling Radharani, please open the door for me. And Radharani is saying from inside, Kosi, Kosi, who are you? Who are you? And that's why that place is known as Kosi. Who are you? Who are you? Hari. Krishna said, Hari, I'm Hari. So Radharani said, Hari? Hari means monkey. Hari also means lion. In Sanskrit, it has different meanings. So Radharani from inside, she says, no, 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 I have no connection with the lion. You go. You are a monkey, a lion. What do you want from us, from me? I have nothing to give you. So Krishna says, then open the door for me. And Radharani says, Kosi, Kosi. Kosi means, who are you? Who are you? Kon ho, kon ho. So Krishna says, Madhusudan, I am Madhusudan. So Radharani said, oh, Madhusudan, that who also pierces the wood. I don't want the black Madhusudan. You go from here. So gradually Krishna one by one gives his names and Radhani is just not accepting. She's just saying, go away, go away. So because of that, this place became to be known as Kosi. And then there's a turn for Vrindavan that is called place is called Jomua. So when you travel, read the names of these towns, these villages. All these villages, they have a connection with Vrindavan's pastimes. So Brahmaji, when he came with his four faces to steal Krishna's friends and calves, it's a long story you all know. And when Brahmaji understood, oh, I did a blunder. I committed a mistake at the lotus feet of Krishna. So Brahmaji folded his both his hands and he said, Ishvara Brahma Krishna Param Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Nadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karan Karanam. So this is how Lord Brahma prayed to Krishna when he realized his mistake that he committed an offense at the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. Maharaj is singing the entire prayer, Brahm Samhita. And Brahmaji glorified Krishna with such a long and beautiful prayer, and Krishna didn't even look at Lord Brahma. Oh, he's Krishna searching for his friends, calves. Where are my calves? Many things happened. Brahmaji offered pranam and he ran away. And when he ran, all Krishna's sakhas they teased Lord Brahma from behind. Who is this living entity? Which creature? Four-headed creature. We never saw this creature before. So they were teasing Krishna. Cho Mua means the one with four faces, mouth. So that place became to be known as Cho Mua. And then there is another turn that's called Chatikara. Chatikara means what? So, like we take a turn for Vrindavan from the highway and Chaptikara. When transition was taking place, transition of Nand Maharaj and all Brajvasis when they were going to Gokul, because in Gokul many times demons were coming in. Putana, Trivat, all these demons they were coming to harm Krishna. So Nand Maharaj decided to leave Gokul. So from Gokul they were going to Nandgaon. At at one place they rested on the way and they put a camp there for rest for a while. They want to rest it there. And they would travel on bullock carts, shakat, carts. And at the place where they were resting in the camp, then that place became to be known as Chatikara. So at Govardhan, there's a place called Datia. Datia means what? Where Krishna killed Dantavakra, the brother of Shishupal, Dantavakra. So that place became to be known as Datia. And there's a place called Deek in Vraj. Deek. Deek means what? People who knows Hindi, they know. Krishna would, put his hands around his waist like this, both. Oh, I'm so famous, I'm so strong, I'm so powerful. He's glorifying himself. Teak means singing his own glories. Krishna would do that. So that place became to be known as Teak. So each place in Braj, each village in the entire Braj Mandal, 84 crores Braj Mandal, they all have a logic and they all have some pastime which Krishna performed there. That is why the grave gopis, so whenever they give any logic, they defeat Krishna easily. Those logics are full of love, and those logics are very grave, yet grave. They are full of love, yet still very grave. The logics of gopis. And gopis don't need to say much to Krishna. Just by few words only, by some signs, they can express their feelings. Now, this chapter is ending. So, the summary is I'm also summarizing today. The gopis who have Purka Rag, this is an adjective for gopis. Before the names of the gopis, we heard Kalavati, Bhavati, gopis are Kalavati, Bhavati, Mahabhav Rupa. All these are names of gopis. Such beautiful names. One more name came now, Purva Ragvati, Braj Ramaniya. What is Purva Ragvati? Rag means anticipating, means they wait for Krishna to come. They always wait for Krishna to come. That's why they are called Purvarag, Purvaragvati, in simple language. These gopis, they heard Krishna's flute sound and they got Ashtasatvik Bhav. What is Ashtasatvik Bhav? Like uh, hair standings on end, goosebumps, tears falling from the eyes, like change of colors, change of skin color. So there are such 8 symptoms, but these 8 symptoms, they are not simple, they are not ordinary. These are transcendental. Ashtasattvic vikar. Crying is not transcendental. Every crying is not transcendental. Like our Gurudev would tell us this pastime, and Gurudev would laugh in Mathura when he would tell us this story. Once upon a time, there was one saint with the long beard, and he would speak Harikatha, and all the audience would hear properly, but there would be an old lady sitting behind, and he would cry. He would keep on crying, cry, cry. She would cry so much, and everyone would praise that old lady. Oh, look at this lady. She cries so much in Harikatha. No one else cries, only she cries. So even the speaker who's the sadhu, the saint who speaks Harikatha, even he's astonished that I am not able to cry so much as she's crying. So when the Harikatha ended, Bolo Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. So everyone is offering obeisances where they have to leave. And that saint went to that old lady. Oh, Mata, what did you like so much in Harikatha? I'm not crying. No one else is crying. Only you are crying so much. What is that one thing? Please tell me. Please tell us. And she was very simple old lady from a village. She said, "Oh Sadhu Maharaj, in my house I had a goat. She had a very nice. The goat had a beard. Goat had a beard. And whenever I looked at you, I missed my goat, where he left me. Seeing you, I think I miss my goat. Seeing you, Sadhu Maharaj, I miss my goat. So she's crying for her goat, lost goat, the one she lost. As if someone listens Ramayan, Dashrath, Dashrath Maharaj, in separation for Lord Ram, said Ram, Ram, and he left his body. If some father, any father would hearing this, how Dashrath Maharaj left his body, and he would think, oh, my son has gone to America, Australia for studies. I don't know when I will be able to see my son again. So he would also start crying. This is not Ashtasatik Bhav. Try to understand this. Missing your son because you're hearing Ramayan is not Ashtasatik Bhav. You can fool someone else, but those who understand this philosophy, this Siddhant, if you understand, you can't be fooled if you understand this Siddhant. Because everything has its symptoms. If I tell you all, my throat is choked, it's not clear, I'm not able to speak up, I'm taking medicine, oh, I'm in pain, but I'm eating a lot, I'm speaking with everyone, you will say, oh, I'm lying. There are no symptoms of his pain. Now I got cold, I will not speak Harikatha tomorrow. So if I get cold, there must be some symptoms of fever or some sufferings. Without symptoms, there's not nothing. Like during my time in school, you don't do this. Disclaimer, don't try at home. Some children are very naughty. My old disciples, they know from India. Braj Mohan knows this very well. Children, when they don't want to go to school, oh mother, I'm having fever. Today I will not go to school. It's too cold. I don't want to come out of the blanket. And who would want to go to school in cold? All old disciples know this. Senior disciples. Now nobody does. So they know what children would take onion and they would keep onion under their armpit, and that increases the temperature of the body when you keep an onion under your armpits, because children have to show some symptoms to their mother, so the mother would come and check the temperature. Oh yes, yes, don't go to school today. And what is that that symptom? It's onion. Now no one does, and you are Vaishnavas, don't even touch onion. So right now no one would say, but I'm sure many of you still do it. Maharaj is saying this, lying not to go to school. So one has to show symptoms, right? So, and if someone doesn't want, can't cry, he's not able to cry. He wants to cry to take win everyone's heart, like to get sympathy vote, to get everyone's sympathy. So they would take red chili powder and put in the eyes. Then tears would come, rose nose would start running. But these all are fake tears. By seeing it, one can understand who is really crying. Whether he is doing some drama or whether really he has some bhav. One can understand heart to heart connection. And when spiritual topics come, Ashtasatvik bhav. One of Some devotees writing, oh, so children would give some excuse that I have pain in my stomach, and the mothers can't check. How to check if someone has really stomach pain or not? So the mothers would agree. So this is also a common reason by children which they used. So Ashtasatik Bhav is means that one cries when Krishna is in the center, where actually when you get really divine transcendental emotions, they are called, then it can be called Ashtasatik Vikar. The first symptom of Ashtasatik Vikar is tears from the eyes, then goosebumps, trembling, shivering, shivering, choking of the voice, kant avrud, no voice, choke, throat would be choked. All these are transcendental divine symptoms. And the last eight topmost symptom is fainting, losing consciousness, external consciousness. These are divine. We have seen these in our Gurudev. I always tell one Harikatha in Jaipur at Govind Dev's temple, Gurudev would speak Harikatha. And while speaking Harikatha, he would get so absorbed in Harikatha that he would lose consciousness. And Gurudev would tell one Harikatha that how once Yashoda Maya, she get a bag on her shoulder, Yashoda Maya, and she would collect the toys in the veranda and she would keep them in the bag which is on her shoulder. Someone would come and ask her, Yashoda, what are you doing? When Sakhi, when Gopi asked Yashoda Maya, so Yashoda Maya said, I am collecting Krishna's toys. Why are you going somewhere? Yashoda Maya said, yes, I'm going. Where are you going? So Yashoda Maya said, my Kanaya has left me and he has gone to Mathura. He is living with Devki now. All these toys I want to collect and give to Kanaya. And when I go there, by this reason that I have got toys for Krishna, for Kanaya, I will beg to Devki, Devki, I will broom your house, I would mop your house, I will do all your dishes, I will do all kind of services, but just once allow me to take darshan of Kanaya. I don't want anything else from you, Devki. Gurudev said just this, and he couldn't talk, he couldn't speak further. His throat choked, his face became red, his he got goosebumps, his eyes got tears, and he closed his eyes because in front of public you can't show your tears. This is not for showing, this is for hiding. For 15 minutes, Gurudev couldn't speak. For 15 minutes. I saw it myself, I'm the witness. And then devotees did kirtan. And then when he became fine, his tears started rolling on his cheeks. These are called Ashtasati Vikar, where while speaking Krishna's Harikatha, while hearing Krishna's Harikatha, or due to some relation, in reality, when you cry for Krishna, they are called Ashtasatik Bhav. And the last is faint, fainting, losing consciousness, topmost. This is what? These are transcendental symptoms, spiritual emotions. There's a limit to it. Like someone asked me, we saw Gurudev, Prabhupada, and all of the acharyas when they left their body. Before leaving their body, they became unwell. They found sickness pastimes. Why so? Few days back, I was speaking in one Harikatha All these acharyas, they performed sickness pastimes before they left their body. So one person answered, they have to face the consequences of the actions of their devotees. I said no. Try to understand this properly. Our body, we are very ordinary jivas in this world. Our body has a limit to deal with some pleasure and distress. There's a limit. If we keep on getting distress, tragedies, trauma, then one becomes depressed. They lose their consciousness. What does it mean? The shockers in the body, to, like a car has a shocker, shock absorb. So they can only absorb to their limit. They don't, if they can't go beyond their limit. Similarly, in happiness also this happens. That the tears of happiness, they also have a limit. And the body reacts. The body has a limit to absorb pleasure. Otherwise, one gets heart attack. Like we see, there is a player. He got some award in cricket. One team won, and the captain got gold award. He got gold World Cup award. So when his name is taken, he has to go on the stage. He has so many emotions. He starts crying. He holds the trophy in his hands and he cries. Is he crying there on the stage because he's crying? So is he not happy? No, happiness and distress, for both happiness and distress, the symptom is tears. Our body is full of water. The highest percentage is of water in our body. So the highest symptom is the tears in the eyes, in distress and happiness. Oh, he took my name. I won. Sometimes they also faint by hearing when their name is called out. They cry. This is not sattvic bhav because this they are not related to spirituality. The sattvic bhav which we are talking about, which gopis get, they are transcendental and they are not material. 8 years back, I'm telling you about this one story from Holland. Vijay Prabhu told me 31st December, there is lottery system. People buy lottery from government. So everyone buys lottery. 59 million, $69 million euros if you win the lottery. So everyone buys the entire country. Many people in different houses, they buy the lottery in, oh, maybe my number would come and I'll win the lottery. So one person on 31st December evening when he was in the party, he was not a devotee, ordinary person. This came in the news. When he was drinking, eating and drinking, TV was on. Exactly at 12 in the night, the name was taken. So and so person won such and such million euros lottery. When he saw it was my name, his eyes were big. They became big, and just just imagine, 59 million euros. You know how big this amount is? If one gets it, his name comes in the news channel. He got heart attack. On the spot, he died. Just by hearing his name in the uh, uh, news channel, he heard his name and he died because his body could not tolerate that shock. So similarly, our Gurujan, our Acharyas, these Vaishnav Acharyas, their emotions, bhav, they get so many emotions and bhav. they can tolerate some, but when they get in too much quantity, then their body cannot tolerate. Their body gets transformation. So sometimes they get transformation of heart, or these macharyas, they never get sick. They have ashtasatik bhav because the body is not in a position to tolerate such so many transcendental emotions, such transformations. So in these gopis, when these ashtasatik bhav, transcendental emotions, then they get some transformations. They cry or they laugh sometimes, crying, laughing, and then what happens? To meet Krishna, they get deep condensed desire, utkantha. Now I cannot live, but what should I do? They can't meet Krishna. Not possible. So their sajatiyan sakhiyan, like-minded friends, they go near them and they share their emotions with them by sign languages. They can't speak the entire emotions. They can't show their prem, their love for Krishna to them. Whom you love and how much you love, this can never be published. Only indication can be given, and just some indications. Like uh, those feelings in the heart can't be described totally because they don't want to show off. They don't want to show how much love is there in their heart for Krishna. What else it is being said here? All gopis, Krishna Gata Prana and Krishna Anuragini. Krishna Gata Prana means their life and soul is in Krishna.
Oh, huh?
And,
Really?
and Krishna's life and soul are in Krishna Anuragini. The entire Anurag is in Krishna. But all gopis don't have same moods. This is what they're telling us here. The entire group of gopis, can they have same mood? No, they cannot. In Harikatha, Gurudev would speak Harikatha. 100 people are sitting and listening to Gurudev. Can everyone have same bhav? Same emotions? No, never. Everyone, as per their qualification, as per their level, grasps that Harikatha. They can't go beyond that. They can't understand beyond that. It depends on your qualification, how qualified you are. 100 people heard Harikatha in the same sitting in the same hall. They all won't have same mood. They all will have different emotions. Depends on your qualification. Only that much you can understand. Someone would understand ABCD, someone understands A for apple, B for ball, and some understands the complete sentence, and some understand the complete paragraph, and some understands the entire thesis on apple. So it's different levels. Same Bhagavad Gita, which is a beginner, will understand by his knowledge. Same Bhagavad Gita, the one who reads for 20 years understands from a different perspective. Same Bhagavad Gita, if Gurudev would speak, he would give by explanation by his emotions and moods. So Bhagavad Gita's verses, can you imagine that Bhagavad Gita also glorifies Radharani? So Bhagavad Gita, to understand Bhagavad Gita, the levels are different. Everyone doesn't have same level. Similarly, these moods of gopis, all gopis are not same. So how to differentiate that they are not of same moods, and what's the difference? Their desire to take Krishna's darshan, Okay, the difference is into who has deep desire to take Krishna's darshan, 10%, 20%, 30%, 50%, and to meet with Krishna. Condensed desire is called lalsa in Hindi, lalsa, deep desire. This from this their level can be decided, described to take darshan of Krishna and to meet with Krishna. How much is their deep desire for that? This also applies to guru and disciples relationship. How you have desire to hear to your Gurudev, how you want to serve, how much you want to serve him, meet him, listen to him. All disciples are not same. Every disciple has a different level. So if I say my level is already decided, then why do I chant daily? Why do I hear Harikatha daily? Because to elevate our level, to increase our level. And the more you hear Harikatha, your level will increase. We all have been hearing Venu Geet from almost 1 month. Imagine first day when you heard Harikatha and today what you're hearing Harikatha. There is an improvement in the level of understanding. There is some difference now, right? This is called elevating your level. So again and again, we hear and we read it. And the more we do this, the more our qualification, our level, our qualification to understand Venu Geet, the angle to understand this will increase and increase and increase. This same Venu Geet, when we read the entire Venu Geet, and again we would read it again second time, then a new angle would come. Right now, a foundation is being built up because you have not heard this before. After this, when you would hear it for the second time, and then you would say, yes, there's a difference in level of understanding now. So those who have a deep desire to take Krishna's darshan and meet with Krishna, on this depends the level of gopis. That's why all the gopis are not same. That is why among all gopis, param pradhana, महाभाव, चरण उत्कर्षालिनी, कृष्ण कांता शिरोमणि, श्रीमती Radhika, and her charan ashrit manjaris, we should take their shelter. It is, let's hear this. That is why you keep all these gopis one side, and among them, so many titles are being described here for Radharani, only for Radharani. Param Pradhana, the topmost among all gopis, Sarvshrest, topmost. You would say why? Why Radharani is topmost? All gopis love Krishna. From here, difference comes. The the deep desire Radharani has to meet Krishna, and to meet Krishna, the surrender towards Krishna, the love towards Krishna, that level nobody else can touch. No other gopi can touch. Love, respect, pranay, man, anurag, all these levels, Modan, Madan, Madanakhya Mahabhav, the topmost level of prem, it's only of Radharani. That's why she's Param Pradhana. Second name here is of Radharani is Mahabhav Charan Utkarshalini. I'm sorry, I didn't say it properly. It's a long name actually. What does it mean? Let's hear it. Mahabhav Ucharan. Ucharan. Ucharan means topmost. Charan Sima means extreme limit. The extreme limit. Maha Mahabhav Charan Utkarshalini. It's a beautiful name, Maharaj is saying. You should name your daughters by this name. In your home, if you have a daughter, keep this name for your daughter. Or for initiation, Mahabhav Charan Utkarshalini. For initiation, someone's such a long name. Maharaj is saying if this name is given in initiation, the devotee would say, "Oh, this is such a long name." I will keep this name for one of you. Mahabhav Charan Utkarshalini. So in short, you all can say Shalini, Shalini, Shalini. This is such a beautiful name of Radharani. By these names, with these names, if you pray in front of Radha Madhav, just go to Radha Madhav. Madhav will just come, and he would follow you. If you love someone, and then if that person is being glorified by others, you will start liking those people. Like father and daughter, let's take this relationship, father daughter. Four people are standing there. Oh, your daughter, wow, she's so fortunate, she's so knowledgeable. So father, what would he feel? He will feel so happy. If you praise a daughter in front of her mother, the mother would feel so much joy. Similarly, if you praise Radha Rani in front of Krishna, Krishna's life and soul is in Radha Rani. And if you stand in front of Radha Rani, Radha Madhav, if you say Radha Ji in front of Radha Rani, this is one thing. But if you address Radha Rani in front of Krishna, Krishna's ears would stand and he would become so happy. Oh, you're calling my Radha Rani with so much love, attention. So we can call Radha Rani Kalavati, Param Anuragini, Krishna Prangata, Param Pradhana, Mahabhav Charan Utkarsh Shalini, and one more name, Krishna Kanta Shiromani. Kanta means someone's beloved. Krishna Kanta Shiromani. So Kanta is all gopis. All gopis are Krishna's priyasi, but among them Shiromani is who? Topmost. Topmost. Radharani's one name is Krishna Kanta Shiromani. You should all note down these names. Make a list. I will put in the group. And daily go to the Radharani, Radha Madhav, and call out these names to them. What will happen? Who will get happiness? You? No, not you. Krishna. Add one more name. Purva Ragvati. Braj Mohan Prabhu, Braj Kishore Prabhu. Maybe you can add these, send these names. Purva Ragvati. Krishna Kanta Shiromani. Shri Radha Rani, who is Param Pradhana, she is Shiromani, she and her surrendered manjaris, who have taken shelter of Radharani's lotus feet. Those manjaris, among those manjaris, who is the topmost? Which Rup Manjari? And Rup Manjari, and along with her, all other manjaris. Yesterday, I mentioned many people like this. Maybe they heard it for the first time. These manjaris are who? They are, they manifest from Radharani. Like who is Rupa Manjari? She's the Roop, beauty. of Radharani. The beauty of Radharani became Rup Manjari. One Manjari is Rati Manjari. Raghunath Das Goswami is Rati Manjari. What is the meaning of Rati Manjari? Rati means attachment. Radharani's attachment towards Krishna, asakti, attachment, that took a form, personification, and that became Rati Manjari. Radharani's attachment for Krishna, that attachment became a personification, and that's Rati Manjari. So, Radha Krishna, when they enjoy, that enjoyment became Vilas Manjari. So, all these Manjaris, even when they stay far away from Radharani, so whatever emotions, feelings Radharani feels, gets, that gets 100 times more in them because there is a connection. Even if even if I'm in the sun and my shadow is there, so if I put my hand up, my shadow would also show like that because it's connected to me, my shadow. Similarly, these Manjaris, they are connected to Radharani. One Manjari is Guna Manjari, Gopal Bhatt Goswami, the one who manifested Radharamanji. People come to Vrindavan and they take darshan of Radharaman. So they take darshan of Radharaman, or those who have not seen, they must take. It's a very beautiful Thakurji. Who manifested Radharaman? They don't know. They just say Radharaman Hari Bol. They know this. So what is that darshan where you don't know who manifested Radharaman? 500 years back, Shri Gopal Bhatt Goswami, he manifested Radharaman by his tears. You all know this pastime, so I will not go in details. How can Thakurji manifest by tears? Imagine how much is the Shakti in those tears. So much power in those tears. Which power? Tears are very light. Just take in your hands. Is there any weight of tears? Tears are not heavy. They are not light. But those tears which are like of devotees, like Gopal Bhatt Goswami, they are heavy. It's the heaviness of love. They are not light, they are very heavy. Shri Gopal Bhatt Goswami, the tears which rolled down from his eyes and then they fell on Shaligram. From Shaligram came who? Radharaman. So this is love. Such deep condensed love of Gopal Bhatt Goswami. This is all about only prem. So like Radharani says to Uddhav, ये प्रेम की बात है Uddhav. You will not understand Uddhav. You think these tears are very light and ordinary. They are not actually light. They are very heavy. They have weightage of transcendental love. They can control Krishna. These tears can control Krishna. These tears can reject someone and they can accept someone. Reject and accept. These tears can control someone, they can accept someone, or they can reject someone. So these tears are very much powerful. So they should be saved. They should not be wasted. Don't cry for anyone except for Krishna. Cry only for Krishna. Crying for this world is nothing is going to get you. Reserve these tears for Krishna on special occasions. Like you, you don't wear nice dresses every day. You only wear them on special occasions. Similarly, these tears, they should be reserved for special occasions. Don't waste your tears on ordinary things. Shri Gopal Bhatt Swami's tears have so much weight that from Shaligram came who? Radharaman. That Gopal Bhatt Goswami is who? Guna Manjari. Radharani's qualities. Those qualities became a personification as Guna Manjari, just 12 and a half years old Manjari. That is why Radharani's feelings, emotions, they all immediately manifest in these Manjaris, reflect in these Manjaris. Wherever these Manjaris are, very far from Radharani, still they feel connected and they feel those emotions 100 times more than Radharani. This is the aim and object of our Sampradaya. Such a topmost level we have to achieve. It takes years, births, many, many, many births, not just years, births, to get this object. That is why Srimati Radharani and her surrendered Manjaris only they can completely taste Krishna's Venu's sound. This is written in Bhagavatam. And the commentary on Bhagavatam, they describe these commentaries on this Venu Geet. So this chapter is ending here now. The ending is nicely done. In this chapter, all the verses in the heart of the gopis, there are so many feelings, waves of feelings. No one can count that or leave about gopis. Even by speaking, hearing this Venu Geet, what happens to us? We also don't know. Devotees also don't know. They cannot imagine what transformation will happen in your heart. They are saying, same gopis by the mercy of the gopis, these feelings can enter our heart. Otherwise, it's not possible. I explained this in a gist. This is Venu Geet. So beautiful. It's also beautiful and yet it melts our heart. One side we are relishing it and other side we are getting some information. Third angle, we get inspiration in our heart and so many informations. So this chapter, seventh verse. Those who want to hear learn, you can learn this verse. We will hear the eighth verse. When? Tomorrow is my flight. Not possible tomorrow. Saturday, 11th. Eighth verse next time. Saturday, 11th January. You all will get the message in the group. By chance, if some change happens that I can speak Harikatha, then you will get the message. Otherwise, Saturday. 9:30 p.m. Indian time, 8 a.m. America time. All glories to Shri Venu Geet. Radha Rani ki jai. Hare Krishna.